You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access. Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
JETS Limited is celebrating its 21st anniversary, and Business Access TV is here to join in the celebration. I'm your host, Amita Prasad Webb. Please stay tuned. For those people who may not know, what exactly is the role of JETS?
JETS is the company that owns the Multilink network. It was created back in 1995, and that company now has created the Multilink system to allow all banks to be able to interconnect and allow customers from one bank to be able to use the machines of another. So with your debit card, you can go from Bank A to Bank B and be able to draw your money from your account anywhere in the island 24/7.
It's the 21st anniversary of JETS Limited. Share your thoughts on your delight tonight.
It's a wonderful time. We've worked long and hard to achieve what we've done with Multilink and the ACH, and we're really pleased to have all our honored guests with us tonight. So it's a matter of celebrating the accomplishments we've had with the network, and we're really enjoying the time.
Is there anything else that JETS is up to? What's next for JETS?
Well, we're looking at more developments in the payment system. We're looking certainly at doing more stuff in the mobile space and also looking at the internet payment solutions. In current time, we're going to be looking at the developments with EMV technology. We're able to make debit cards payments more secure. So that's coming up very shortly with us. So we're very pleased that we're able to share with Jamaica all the things we've been able to do with the payment systems, and we're going to be adding more.
21 years. Congrats.
Thank you very much. It really has been a great 21 years for JETS. We have had significant milestones in payment processing. We look forward to the next 21 years, and with that will come new technologies. We're looking at solutions such as mobile. Our next immediate steps will be JETS being able to process chip cards. We have looked at how we can offer a broader range of service to the Jamaican public. We look at things like simplifying account verification. We've looked at fraud management. So the opportunities for JETS in terms of an interoperable company for the members are endless. And so we will complete our 5-year strategic plan in a few weeks, and then we will schedule the initiatives accordingly.
Financial inclusion is a big part of your goals. Talk to us about what JETS is now doing to make that continue to happen or happen on a broader scale.
Right. So one of the mandates of JETS, and a self-imposed mandate, mind you, is to offer a low-cost service. And so it is a standard pillar for financial inclusion. What it does, it allows the ordinary Jamaican to have access to their funds without having to travel several miles, without having to take a bus, for example, if there is not an ABM from their own bank. Once the ABM is Multilink enabled, which all our ABMs are, then the customer can have access. So financial inclusion for us is a strategic objective. We feel that we have achieved the objective in the main, as we have processed millions and millions of transactions every day.
You mentioned mobile banking, and I think nowadays people are very concerned security-wise. Is my money going to be safe if I do decide to go the mobile way? Talk to us about that.
Well, cybersecurity is a current topic. There are always concerns, but what we know for a fact is that there are also ways to mitigate that. And so as we venture into all new areas, one of our significant strategic objective is to ensure that we operate in a very safe environment and that we work together as member institutions and JETS as a company to educate our customers about how to keep their funds safe, how to operate safely in the new electronic environment.
We know you have vast experience in domestic networks. How would you compare JETS with other jurisdictions?
You know, JETS is Jamaica's national network in the same way that Interac is Canada's national network. I think in countries where there is a local network like JETS or like Interac, there's a real opportunity to preserve value and access to payment services for local constituents, for local banks, local merchants, local consumers.
How would you compare service charges here with other jurisdictions?
Always service charges. Service charges are a touchy topic. One of the real benefits of a domestic network is the ability to keep prices low. They're local networks built by and for the local economy, and so they have a real emphasis on cost accessibility and access to basic services. And so Interac prides itself on a low-cost operating model. We know JETS prides itself on being a much lower-cost alternative to some of the international schemes.
What's the role of a company like JET to our economy?
I think really important. I think it's become really clear that local payment networks are important parts of the local economy and local banking and payment infrastructures. The ability to keep domestic control over domestic payments is a really important principle, and a principle that a company like JETS is able to fulfill.
Share with us the role and importance of JETS Limited.
Well, most people would not appreciate the extent to which the Jamaican financial system has grown, has matured, has become very, very sophisticated. Certainly, as it pertains to the modern functionalities of any financial system, Jamaica has it. We have been evolving the system for quite some time. Now, JETS plays a critical role in that process because it is that link that provides the average man, the average consumer, with access to the electronic financial system. Certainly as it pertains to our card services, as it pertains to the settlement of small value transactions and also large value transactions. That's JETS. It's a tremendous contribution to the financial system architecture of Jamaica over an extended period of time. Well, one of the important initiatives that we are pursuing now is financial inclusion, which is essentially about bringing greater access to the financial system to a larger proportion of the Jamaican population. And I'd like to think that JETS has a very, very important role to play in that process, ensuring that the average Jamaican has access to the most sophisticated elements of the financial system. And I think that JETS has the capacity to do that, to increase financial access to the average Jamaican.
Talk to us about the collaborative effort between JETS and other financial institutions.
Well, JETS, actually, the board members of JETS are made up of the financial institution individual membership. So they play a key role in helping to form the future of what the landscape will look like. So, yeah, very dynamic team.
How has it benefited the country and its people on a whole, the importance of future services?
Absolutely beneficial. The simple thing that we take as for granted, the convenience that JETS has really brought to the market is absolutely phenomenal. I joined the bank 30 years ago, and in those days you had to walk across to do exchange. Today you literally can stay in your home, the convenience of home, and do your banking. And it's because of institutions like JETS that accommodates these kind of transactions. Seamless execution at all times.
We welcome you to the JETS 21st anniversary celebration. My name is Francois Saint-Just, and I have the pleasure of being able to present for you this evening, but I also have the great pleasure of having as my co-MC the marketing and special events consultant for JETS, Mrs. Michelle Wilson Reynolds.
Thank you, Francois, and welcome, everybody. Tonight is a special night as we salute this special organization, JETS, which has been connecting Jamaica for 21 years, quietly behind the scenes, making life easier for so many Jamaicans from all walks of life and so many businesses on all levels through the operation of two of its fantastic networks, Multilink and the Automated Clearinghouse, ACH.
I must say that I am extremely happy to welcome you all to celebrate with us this special milestone, 21 years. I think you will all agree with me that JETS Limited has more than come of age. The American poet and filmmaker James Broughton was once quoted as saying, "The only limits are always those of vision." 21 years ago, a candle was lit, and it has become a bright star to light the way for many to do convenient electronic banking business in Jamaica. Indeed, for many, the trusted Multilink brand, and Natalie's wearing her logo, and I think it's all around, has become truly essential to payments in Jamaica. From a company powered by a dedicated team of professionals, and more importantly, governed by a unique board comprised of representatives from normally competing entities. And we're all good friends. Can you imagine that? This is a remarkable story, ladies and gentlemen. As stated in one of our current celebratory 21st anniversary press ads, JETS is a national success story, a model of collaboration. This is a company equally owned by 7 of Jamaica's premier financial institutions, working together as one entity for the benefit of Jamaica by making financial transactions easier for all Jamaicans. It is with distinct pleasure that I currently serve as chairman of JETS. And JETS is the undisputable, pivotal service provider in Jamaica's payment industry and the operator of 2 of the most systemically important payment systems in the country. Over the 21 years, the members of the board and the staff have uniquely collaborated through JETS. Together, we have created a Jamaican shared platform system that reduces business processing costs, increases transaction flows with consistent high reliability at one of the lowest transaction fees in the region. I think that deserves an applause. This unique JETS collaboration has brought tremendous benefits to the customers, the industry, and the economy as a whole. Our coming of age is just the start, as we remain committed to ensuring that this business model remains relevant and capable of carrying the country forward through even more innovative electronic products and services. I think, ladies and gentlemen, that at this point you will all agree with me that JETS is indeed a national success story. It is a shining example of what is right in Jamaica and what we can do for our country. JETS is a proud Jamaican-owned company. It is an organization that is consistently operated at very high levels of efficiency and provides the modernization and transformation of the payment industry to Jamaicans at first world levels of service and reliability. JETS is never down. I think that again deserves an applause. The JETS shared platform system was the first to enable true interoperability in the Jamaican payments industry. This allows separate institutions to be interconnected, allowing customers of any member institution to make payments through any other member institution's terminals at any time and anywhere they see the trusted Multilink brand. Even after 21 years, JETS still has untapped potential and is best positioned at this time under its current leadership and staff to provide more relevant services to the financial industry and improve stakeholder value.
It's a very important evening for us tonight. We're celebrating our 21st anniversary of JETS, and as CEO, I'm pleased to share with you some reflections on the achievements of the past 21 years on a single powerful idea. But first, flashback. Around 1985, a young man goes to his bank after the 2 p.m. closing time. He's armed with a debit card, eager to use the ABM to get cash from his account. Unfortunately, the machine could not dispense the cash. Disappointed, he looks across the street. He sees customers of another bank easily getting money from their bank's ABM. He thinks to himself, wouldn't it be great to just go over there with my card and get money from my account from that other bank's machine? One day, he thinks to himself, one day, maybe one day. In 1989, a group of like-minded visionaries planted the seed of the same idea, and the Jamaica Electronic Transfer System Association, JETS as it was called, was born. The dream to achieve a shared interoperable system that will allow customers of any one institution to use the machines of another. Those visionaries, all representing different financial institutions, included Bill Clark, Mike Dunn, Philip Silvera, Lloyd Wiggum, Joe Taft, Wayne Powell, Al Webb, Jeffrey Cobham, and also Rex Fennell, Lanny Reynolds, the Honorable Gloria Knight OJ, Roger Braham, who are sadly no longer with us, and also 2 integral players as consultants, the late Luther Carver and Adrian Ricos. Their objective was clear, but they faced several hurdles. Each bank had a different technology, different products, and did I mention that they were competitors? How could they work together? They all wanted to be in control, and regardless of size, none wanted to feel at a disadvantage to any other. For 8 years, the talks went on, and for a while it seemed impossible. However, it was eventually realized that the very concept of a shared platform service offered the best solution. They could all be as equal owners, as customers of the same shared system, but only if they gave up the management to a separate entity. Now, on to the other project that we took on, the Automated Clearinghouse, which JETS successfully manages and operates on behalf of our sister company, Automated Payments Limited, owned by the commercial banks. The aim of that service at startup in 2002 was to improve check processing speed for interbank transactions. From day one, the ACH dramatically reduced the time to clear checks from over 7 days to 3 days, basically doubling the speed and halving the costs. In 2006, the ACH introduced its electronic payments service, which allows for greater convenience to allow people to be able to initiate transactions from their computers directly into the banking system. With both check and electronic payments, the ACH now processes over $1.1 trillion a year. Today, both Multilink and the ACH are integral parts of the financial sector. As well-trusted services in the national payments ecosystem, recognized by the Bank of Jamaica as systemically important payment systems, a title we are very proud to bear, Mr. Morrison, and is a key industry player recognized by all international bodies, including the World Bank. For us at JETS, year 21 is only the start of our value-added journey. We're committed to building on our strengths, being the premier provider of low-cost, sustainable, shared platform service infrastructure, and ultimately providing world-class levels of interoperability, reliable shared services for businesses and the people of Jamaica. Very shortly, the Multilink network will include support for chip cards using EMV technology, which will significantly improve the security of debit card payments. We intend to expand access to convenient electronic funds transfer services, including interoperable mobile payment channels. Stay tuned for those events.
As I've had the opportunity to get to know Edmundo and the fantastic team at JETS, we've shared some war stories and perspectives and experiences from life in the payments universe. There is indeed much similarity between the JETS adventure over the past 20 or so years and indeed Interact's evolution as Canada's national debit network. I wish I could say there was as much similarity in the climate, but we'll stand on similarity in payments for now. Indeed, as partners in a global community of domestic debit networks and regional networks, there is much to share and much to celebrate. Now let me take just a moment or two, maybe and round out the notes, the introductory notes about Interac. Founded more than 30 years ago by a visionary group of bankers who saw value in keeping domestic control over domestic payments. Today, Interac is Canada's largest payment brand. Nearly every Canadian has at least one Interac debit card, and Canadians are among the world's most avid users of ABMs, and I think that is one thing we share. We both call them ABMs, and PIN debit at point of sale. Interac, as it was noted, ended our use of magstripe technology at the end of 2015, and our network and card base is now fully EMV chip, and we have a large and growing contactless transaction base. Our nearly 50 members cover the full breadth and depth of the payments value chain. In addition to our market-leading presence in the card payment space, we operate Interac e-Transfer, Canada's preeminent electronic money transfer service, and indeed one of the largest person-to-person money solutions in the world. Interac Online, secure payment solution for e-commerce, and we were the first domestic network in the world to launch Apple Pay a little more than a year ago. Just a few days ago, earlier this month, we added Interac Debit on Android Pay, and we support a number of Canadian banks and financial institutions with their proprietary branded mobile wallet solutions for mobile payment. And we offer international services through a growing gateway business that includes links to Union Pay International, the Discover Diners Club family of brands, and NICE Network in the United States, and a connection with Western Union for international remittances sent through Interac e-Transfer. But that's enough about us. It's not a night about Interac, it's a night about JETS, and it's a night about payments. And the truth is, it wasn't that long ago that payments was kind of a boring topic. Nobody really talked much about payments. Nobody thought much about payments. It just sort of happened. And it mostly happened in bank basements at night when regular folks were sleeping. And life as a domestic payments network, and I think you might agree, Edmundo, was kind of an easy gig. Today, however, payments has become noteworthy and newsworthy around the globe. It is the subject of news headlines, and I'm talking about like news that regular people read. And the payments industry is one of the most rapidly changing in the financial services arena. It is a time of unprecedented challenge and opportunity. Enabling technologies such as the internet, EMV chip, and mobile have reached maturity, creating both the avenues and the appetite for payments innovation. And behind them sit the next wave, from the Internet of Things to AI, bot commerce, and blockchain. These technology drivers, coupled with new and emerging competitive threats, challenges to traditional business models, and strong interest on the part of governments, central banks, and regulators, have underpinned what has been a period of rapid change in payments. I'm sure it keeps Edmundo up at night in the same way that it keeps us up at night in Canada, and the pace of change seems only set to increase.
I really want to start by congratulating all of the stakeholders. Jackie was reminding me that all the stakeholders are the directors of JETS. And you have demonstrated that you can bring first world, first class technology to Jamaica and make it work for us. I want to congratulate you for that. You know, it is said that in the pursuit of excellence, one person can make a difference. One agency, one organization can make a difference. And I must tell you, I'm proud when I listen to this success story. It's a wonderful success story, and Jamaica needs so many more success stories. Our economy needs to be a success story once again. I want to remind, especially you younger people in this audience, that Jamaica has had a time when Mr. Patterson would call it the halcyon days. But we had a time in our economy in the 1960s. In fact, I should go back earlier, in the late 1950s. When the PNP was in power, we had growth. When the JLP was in power in the 1960s, we had 10 years of average growth of 6% per year. In 1971, the Jamaican economy grew by 12.1% in one single year. In 1964, Lee Kuan Yew visited Jamaica. He was curious at the fact that we were growing as we were doing, and he wanted to study the model of Jamaica to see what is it that we were doing here. He was so inspired by our growth. He went back to Singapore, established the Singapore Development Bank, modeled on the Jamaica Development Bank. Well, the rest is history. Singapore today has a per capita income of $55,000 US. We are 10% of that. At $5,500 US is our per capita income. So we have no choice now. We have to get back on a path of growth. For too long, we have been slipping and sliding and drifting at a 1% growth or less. We have to begin to target much more ambitious growth levels again. This present government, established, led by the Prime Minister, Honorable Andrew Holness, we have established an Economic Growth Council. We have targeted the achievement of 5% in 4 years. Well, some will say that is virtually impossible. In the first year, we expected to grow by 1.7%. We have ended up growing by just about 1.2%. But we are not going to be deterred by that. We still remain focused that Jamaica has the capacity to get on a much more aggressive path to growth if we can be consistent in our approach, if we can make it easier to do business, and if we can create an atmosphere of financial inclusion, and if we can get the economy more formal. Let small enterprises know that you can get access to credit at reasonable rates of interest. Jackie says, sure. I like that. So I instructed my ministry, mark that money up no more than 2%. I've instructed the Development Bank of Jamaica, mark that money up no more than 1%. And I'm asking the AFIs. Notice I didn't say I'm instructing the AFIs. I pick my words very carefully. My formal training is not finance, it's communication. I'm asking the AFIs to mark it up by no more than 3%. And if we do that, we can get that special money to SMEs for the productive sector, the export sector, at 6%. Isn't that a good start?
Tonight is truly a special one for JETS, and the company really wants to recognize those persons and organizations that have supported it over the past 21 years. And no effort was spared in making this happen. In fact, renowned artist and sculptor Kay Sullivan was commissioned to create signature 21st anniversary art pieces to be given to those who are going to be specially recognized tonight. The first presentation will be made to the Ministry of Finance, the Honorable Audley Shaw.
The second award is to be presented to the Bank of Jamaica. And we'd like to invite Deputy Governor for the Bank of Jamaica, Mr. Livingston Morrison, to receive the award. Congratulations to the Bank of Jamaica and many thanks to you. Thank you very much, Chairman Tugwell Henry.
Next, we move to the presentations that are going to be given to other key stakeholders for JETS, the shareholders. We invite another BOJ Deputy Governor, Mr. John Robinson, to present these special gifts of appreciation to the partners. And the first presentation will be to the Bank of Nova Scotia Jamaica Limited, and we're going to invite President and CEO, Mrs. Jacqueline Sharp, to come and receive the right. Next, we move to CIBC First Caribbean International Bank Jamaica Limited, and we invite Managing Director, who was being the gallant knight in shining armor, Managing Director Nigel Hones, to receive his art piece. The Jamaica Cooperative Credit Union League Limited is next, and we're inviting Group CEO Glenworth Francis to come and receive on behalf of the JCCUL. Thank you, and we move now to JN Bank Limited. And the CEO for JN Bank, Mrs. Maureen Hayden Carter. Congrats to JN Bank. NCB, National Commercial Bank Jamaica Limited. And we're going to invite the Chief Operations Officer, Mr. Septimus Bob Clark, to Blake to receive on behalf of NCB. Congrats to NCB, Sagicor Bank Jamaica Limited. And we're going to invite Mr. Sean Paris, VP Operations, to receive on behalf of Sagicor. You'll notice that these have been in alphabetical order. So last but not least is Victoria Mutual Building Society, and we invite the group CFO, Mrs. Janice McKinley, to accept on behalf of VM.
Okay, so that's the presentation to some of the key stakeholders. Thank you very much, Mr. Robinson, for your assistance in getting through that set of presentations. We now move to our long-serving directors. The first awardee is Glenworth Francis, Group CEO for the Jamaica Cooperative Credit Union League, 15 years of dedicated service, JETS Director since 2002, served as Chairman from 2009 to 2014. The next awardee is Audrey Tugwell Henry, Senior General Manager for Retail Banking Division at NCBJ. 13 years of distinguished service, JETS Director since 2004. First with BNSJ, then representing NCBJ. Current Chairman of the JETS Board since September 2014. This next awardee is Janice McKinley, Group CFO at the Victoria Mutual Group. 9 years of distinguished service, JETS Director since 2008, currently Deputy Chairman of the JETS Board.
And Mr. Hennes will remain with us on stage to present gifts of appreciation at our command to the other members of the board. At this time, we'd like to invite Julie Thompson-James, Vice President, Business Support, the Bank of Nova Scotia, Jamaica Limited, and the JETS Director since May 2016, to receive her gift of appreciation. Also receiving a gift of appreciation is Owen W.R. Francis, Director, Retail Banking Channels, First Caribbean International Bank, Jamaica Limited, and a JETS Director since 2010. We also invite Shireen Jones, Mrs. Shireen Jones, Group Chief Information Officer at the JN Group and a JETS Director since 2013 April, to join us on stage. And our final presentation is to Shawnee Paris. We will invite him back again, Vice President of Operations of Sagicor Bank, Jamaica Limited, and a JETS Director since July 2014.
There are certain roles in any organization that often could get overlooked because of their behind-the-scenes role. The JETS Operations and Technical Committees represents all the shareholder companies and serves in an advisory capacity to the company, providing important direct liaison for members in the specific areas of expertise. The work of the committee is of vital importance, contributing to the standards and effective operation of the multi-link network.
And the first recipient will be Roy Thompson, Assistant Manager E-Banking, JN Bank, for 17 years service to the Operations and Technical Committee.
We'd also like to recognize Henry Grant, Manager, Infrastructure Services, Sagicor, 17 years of service to the Technical Committee. Recognizing Joan McLeod, Senior Systems Developer, CIBC, FCIB, 13 years service to the Technical Committee. Joan McLeod is unable to make it tonight, but we congratulate her nonetheless. Congratulations to Lyndon Lathan, Technical Solutions Architect, VMBS, 11 years of service to the Technical Committee. Congratulations to Rowan Bent, Network Engineer, JN Bank, 11 years of service to the Technical Committee. Finally, in this category, we would like to recognize Shaka Che Johnson, System Support Officer, BNS, 10 years of service to the Technical Committee.
Unfortunately, he's not able to be with us because he's traveling, but we just want you to recognize with a round of applause anyway.
This is long-serving staff, very, very important to the stability of an entity. The first award that we're going to do, yes, you heard the story before, and you're not going to be surprised, but what you are going to do is be impressed once again. Long-serving staff. First presentation to Edmundo Hennes, Chief Executive Officer, 21 years of leadership and unwavering support. The next presentation is to Natalie Buckle, Chief Operations Officer, formerly Financial and Operations Controller, 20 years of dedicated and unwavering commitment. And our next presentation is to Ronald Emmanuel, Technology Manager, 20 years of dedicated and unwavering support.
A man who often burns the midnight oil.
Recognition to Paul Dixon, Senior Operations Officer, 20 years of loyal and dedicated service. We would like to recognize Dean Wigan, Manager, Automated Clearinghouse, 19 years of loyal and dedicated service. And the final presentation in this category, long-serving staff. Layman Bailey, Accounting and Operations Officer, 15 years of loyal and dedicated service.
And that's it from us here at the Spanish Court Hotel as we joined in the celebration of JETS Limited 21st anniversary. I'm your host Amita Prasad Webb and you're watching Business Access TV, serious about business.